Greetings everyone, welcome, and thank you guys so much for being here today. Years ago I made a tutorial of how I package and ship my artwork. Well, I wanted to do an updated video and share with you some tips I've learned recently. For example, let's use this as my painting that I'm going to ship, and I need to package it, right? So it's all varnished and ready to go. Before, I used to use paper like this, right? This is like, it comes in a roll, a nice thin paper here, or there's also this brown color right here, right? And so before I used to just use this over the top of my painting like this, right? And which worked all right, but I realized after moving from Seattle to Puerto Rico, taking the brown paper out, sometimes the brown paper would stick to the corners and it didn't damage the painting. I just had to like use a wet cloth to kind of wipe it off the paper that's on some of the paintings that it got stuck to, right? And I didn't like that. But recently I discovered something new. And by the way, guys, before I continue, if you guys want to paint this, there's a full step-by-step lesson of this painting, and you can follow along here on YouTube. I posted about 2 weeks ago. But also, before we get into the details, I want to remind you guys to watch to the end because I have a very special announcement to make. And so I hope you'll enjoy it. All right, guys, let's get into the tips I have for you for today. I used to use this first layer, right, over my artwork, but now this is the magic, parchment paper. So I use a layer of this first. And if my painting is bigger, obviously I do a couple layers, like 2, 3, depending on how big the canvas is. And I just do the front layer. We're gonna use this as an example right here. I'm just gonna measure this about this much, just like that. And so that would be my first layer. This will never stick to the paint and will damage. So it's a really nice first protective layer. So I'll do that, right, like this, and then I'll use a paper underneath. Just like that. And this, for this paper, you can actually wrap it all around. So now I have 2 layers, parchment paper first. And remember, if my canvas is bigger, I use multiple layers, and you don't need to, tape doesn't stick to it. So I just overlap about 2 inches or whatever and make it as big as the painting, right? And then just do the front where the paint is painted, just do that layer. You don't need to go around. And so I use masking tape, and what I do is about this much, 2 pieces. And so first thing we do is, and this is going to be an example, so quick example, so bear with me. So I'll tape this just for it to be stable. And then next I'll tape this like this. And then here, I'm going to fold it in and bring it up like this. And then tape right here, and do the same thing here. Flip it and tape the 2 corners. And here it is. And you can make the paper as wide, as small as you want, and as long as you cover everything. So that's how I like to do it. I cover the whole painting right here, so it's nice and clean here. And now the next part, I use a bubble wrap. Basically, I wrap it 2 layers, about 2 layers, all around my painting. And remember to keep your bubbles, basically keep your bubbles where the bumpy area on the other side. So the flat area of the bubbles, you put it against the canvas. So for example, you see right here that it's a bubbly area on the edge. So make sure to, when you package it, make sure the bubble area is facing towards you, not the other way around. You want the flat area right here to be on the painting like this. So this is a rough, I'm kind of recording and doing it in a rough way, but you would go around twice, make 2 loops. So now I have 2 layers over. I'm gonna tape this side here, and I'm not gonna do it right now because I'm not shipping this painting, but that's how I would do it. So tape this right here, And then this is the front side of the painting. So this is the back side of the painting, and this is where the painting is, the image is, right? I'm gonna flip it this way, and I'm gonna fold these edges on this side like this, and same thing here, like this. Because I like to do that because this is like an extra, like if this was more longer and more like, you know, even, then I wouldn't mind doing it on the other side. But it just makes it, and then so I'm gonna tape these, right, real quick. But it makes this side cleaner. So my artwork is clean and straight and flush, right? There's nothing like, no sides are pushing onto my front image, right? That's what we want. The next step, I like to even protect it even more so that in case somebody bumps into a box or there's a sharp thing and it goes through the box, right? You don't want it to like damage and kind of cut your painting, right? So I like to use some kind of light foam cardboard over the top, only the top part. So I would cut it to the shape of my painting and I would use this. So I have a couple of these, and you can get these at Office Depot or I don't know, any art store, they should have them, or print shops should have them. So something like this, or sometimes I get packages through Amazon or whatever, and I collect these foam things right here. So then I'll just kind of like use either this one, a skinnier one, or a thicker one. The thicker, obviously the thicker the better, because it's gonna protect it better. But so I'll usually use something like this or like this, whatever I have available, to protect the front layer of my painting. And then so after that, after I have this, I'm gonna cut it out. After that, then I'll go into boxing. One more note is I would tape using masking tape right here against this thing on just 4 sides. One right here, one right here, one right here, and here, just to keep this stable so it won't move around. Let's pretend I have that all taped. I'm gonna choose a box that best fits my painting. You wanna give yourself about 2 inches of space on each side of your painting to give room for cushion. This canvas is a 12 by 16 and this one is 16 by 20. So I can lay it like this. And as you can see, you have space about like 1.5 inches or 2 inches all around, and also on top. You see you got some space on top to put some cushion on top here as well. You want that to protect your painting, so it could be in the middle. So before I actually put the painting in, I'm gonna put a couple foam pieces here. So put it like this, and then I'll just use a knife, and I like to use one of my metal rulers here, and I like to measure it like this randomly real quick, and then use one of these knives to cut it out, right? And then I'll obviously measure to get this area in as well. Again, it doesn't have to be exactly or perfect, but you can, if you want to make it nice for the client, you know, to be 100% safe, 110 or whatever you want to call it, you can create it and make it super nice. And I like to do that just to, you know, whatever the materials you have available, right? Sometimes you have to use this kind of paper, you see? This paper works as well. You know, it's not going to be as safe as this one, but that works as well. Here we are. So next is putting your painting right in the center like this. Now the back side is protected, as you could see, and now we're going to fill in the sides. You can use this paper or even this or foam. And since I have foam left over, I'm going to be using foam. You see, it pretty much fits nicely. Ideally, you would want it to like be flush here, but I can use some of more of either the, you know, either this, the bubble wrap, or that to fill in this area. But basically, I would use the foam, and I'm going to go around and fill it in all around. By the way, I also had this, and I save these whenever I get something from Amazon or an order that had, you know, foam and bubble wrap and things like that. I usually save it and put it in the corner, but I had this cool one right here also. Okay, and this one fits perfectly right in here. Right here, right? I want it to go in and right there. So, and then And this is a little thicker than this one, so you can even use this one on this side, right? And I'm gonna just cover it up, or you guys can do this. Put it all around like this in the corner and just go all the way around, and I'll show you the outcome. And here we are, as you can see, nicely around the edges so that my painting won't move around. And the final step is adding another layer of foam, okay? Another layer of foam, or you can add bubble wrap on top, you know, fill it in here or whatever you have, or even this, you can just cover the whole top. I like to use the foam. Again, it's going to be more sturdier and will hold the painting strong, and nothing, if something sharp hits it, nothing's going to damage through, which protects my painting, and I feel good about it. So that will be the last step I do. And then obviously close the box, tape it, and you're good to go. So that's another version if you didn't have that foam. And so you would cover it up like this and close it, and there you go. The final thing to do is to shake your box. Make sure you don't hear anything and nothing's moving inside. That means you packaged it well if you don't hear anything. So I don't hear anything, sounds good to me, packaged well, so I'm ready to ship this. I know and I can be confident that it's going to be delivered safely. Alright guys, I hope that was helpful. Now let's get into the announcement. So last week I did an experiment and a vlog selling some of my original paintings in downtown San Juan, Puerto Rico. And so if you want to see that, there's going to be a link somewhere here. And in the video I decided to do a fun giveaway of some of my original paintings and select 2 winners. And so basically all you had to do is tell me where you guys are watching from in the comments and something about you. And wow, I was blown away reading all the comments, so many great testimonies, and I just appreciate you all and appreciate all the comments. I wish I can give all my paintings to all of you guys, but we can only do 2 because shipping would be crazy. But since I was reading, I felt at least called to give 1 more painting away. And so instead of 2, I'm gonna do 3. And hopefully bless 3 of you guys. And to be fair, I use this app called Randomizer, and it basically selects the comments on YouTube, and you just click the button and it selects randomly the winner. And that's what I did, and selected 3, and these are the 3 winners. Number 1 is Greg. Congratulations, Greg. I'll be in touch with you. And number 2 is Magali. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, please forgive me. And number 3 is Diana. Congratulations, everyone. I hope you'll enjoy the paintings, and I'll be reaching out to you guys shortly. I'm gonna reach out to you guys and have you choose one of these paintings. And once I get the information, I'll ship it right over to you. Again, thank you guys so much. Reading the comments just made me want to work harder, want to create better lessons, better videos. It encouraged me to continue. I'm excited to create, and I hope you guys will enjoy my tutorials and future videos that I'm going to put out here and in my mentorship program as well. All right, everyone, I hope you have a great week. Take care and God bless, and see you guys next week. Yeah!